Ты не удивился? Вот он Стрикленда убрал. Брал Уитакера. И сейчас, пожалуйста, Адесанья.
Ну, это он сейчас, его пик идет вперед, газует. Ну, можно сказать, плохая версия меня. Но сейчас вернусь, сниму его. Для меня он намного удобнее, чем другие бойцы.
Michael Bisping is a clear piece of advice for Dricus Du Plessis ahead of his massive middleweight title defense against Khamzat Chimaev. Do not, under any circumstances, get drawn into a ground battle with a Chechen wrestler. Bisping knows the danger of that territory. He's going to get you down, Bisping warned. Look at what he did to Usman. People might say Usman's best days are behind him, but then look what Khamzat did to Gilbert Burns. He still has it. That's how good Khamzat's wrestling is. Bisping's point is simple. Chimaev's dominant wrestling and suffocating ground control give him a huge advantage in grappling exchanges. Fighters who dared to test him on the mat have consistently been overwhelmed by his raw power, relentless pace, and ability to control positions.
He's going to get you down. Look at what he did to Usman, right? Usman, with that fight, you might go, oh yeah, Usman's had his best days behind him. Then look what he did to Joaquin Buckley. He's still got it. And that's how good Khamzat Chimaev is at wrestling.
Yet Du Plessis, known for his awkward yet dangerous striking, his gas tank, and his relentless forward pressure, is not shying away from the challenge. While most of Chimaev's past opponents have avoided the ground game like a trap, Du Plessis has made it clear he wants to test himself there. He's confident in his own grappling and isn't afraid to challenge Khamzat in the one area where the Chechen has been unstoppable. Bisping, however, isn't convinced this is the wisest approach. You can't doubt Dricus Du Plessis, you just can't, and he said he wants to fight Khamzat on the ground. He says everyone else avoids it, but he wants the best version of Khamzat. He wants to test himself against that. He's not intimidated.
However, Dricus Du Plessis, I mean, you cannot doubt this guy. And he said he wants to fight Khamzat on the ground. He said everyone else tries to avoid going to the ground with him. He said, I want to fight the best version of him. I want to test my skills against his on the ground. He's not intimidated. There's videos of Dricus Du Plessis online taking on an entire Gracie Barra black belt team and submitting them all one by one. He's big, he's strong, he can wrestle, he's got great judo, he's got knockout power, he's had a nose job, so he's got a great gas tank now as well. You know, this is and they hate each other. They absolutely hate each other.
Du Plessis has credentials to back his confidence. There are videos online of him grappling with an entire Greasy Barra black belt team, submitting them one by one. He's big, strong, can wrestle, has solid judo and knockout power. After surgery that corrected his long-standing breathing issues, his cardio has improved dramatically. And on top of that, there's genuine bad blood. These two fighters don't just want to beat each other, they want to destroy each other. Bisping still feels the danger is too great. While he respects Du Plessis' ambition, he believes Khamzat's dominance in the clinch and on the mat makes ground exchanges extremely risky. His advice to Du Plessis is simple. Go at Chimaev head-on, keep the fight standing, and try to wear him down with strikes. But this is a high-risk, high-reward situation. If Du Plessis truly sticks to his plan and engages Khamzat where the Chechen is strongest, the result could define his legacy, for better or worse. The storylines are almost too good. The Wolf Chimaev has talked a big game for years, playing the perfect villain. Now he finally gets a shot at UFC gold. Can he deliver? Can he live up to the hype? The reality is, some fighters feel there's no avoiding the ground with Khamzat anyway. Even if you try, he will take you there. That's what happened in Gilbert Burns' fight. Burns didn't want to just accept being taken down, and it was his ability to make Khamzat work on the ground that kept him competitive.
And Boers, the wolf, the bad guy, coming in has talked such a good game, and he's such a good villain. He finally gets the shot at the belt. You know, can he do it? Can he pull it off? Can he live up to all the hype? Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah, I think you have to fight him on the ground. I think you can't avoid it because he's just going to take your back and ride you out.
Yeah.
When you saw Gilbert Burns fight Chimaev, it was the groundwork that kept Chimaev a little nervous. I think you have to be able to.
But there's another layer of concern beyond the fight itself, the future of the division if Khamzat wins. UFC analyst Din Thomas raised a legitimate worry. He's concerned that Chimaev's historically inconsistent fight schedule could create a stagnant middleweight division if he becomes champion. Champions are expected to defend their belts regularly. Chimaev, however, has been unpredictable with his appearances. Long breaks between fights, weight issues, and sudden fight cancellations. Thomas put it bluntly, if Khamzat wins, it could be a disaster. You can't tell me you're not at least thinking about the possibility that this fight might not even happen. While fight week preparations seem on track, Chimaev has been in the US for a month, training with renowned strength and conditioning coach Sam Colavita. Thomas still has concerns. He admits he's seen too many fights fall apart at the last minute to be fully confident until both men are in the cage. The bigger concern is after. If he wins, do we trust him to fight again soon? Thomas asked. Can he do it 2 or 3 times a year? We need movement in the division. I hate when things go static. For the division to move, champions have to fight. This is where comparisons to champions like Israel Adesanya and Anderson Silva come in. They defended their titles regularly, often against anyone available. Chimaev has the talent to dominate, but can he keep the pace required of a champion?
If Khamzat wins, it's a disaster, actually, because you can't tell me that a part of you is just like thinking this fight actually might not happen.
Of course, I see everyone saying
But it's not because of Dricus.
Let's say like Khamzat's been in the United States for I think like a month now. He's training with Sam Calavita, who is an extraordinary strength and conditioning coach. Worked with Pico, working with Armin. I think right now TJ Dillashaw for years. It sounds like he's doing all the things right, and he's here. So unless I think he might be doing like an open workout for media in LA like next week or something like that. I don't know if that's confirmed. So like the fight week motion is happening here. But I guess, of course, we've seen things go disastrous at the last minute. So something's in the back of the mind, but I don't know.
Some of these guys are just habitual in terms of not making it to the dance. And there's a part of
this one though, right? He's got to be dead.
Well, no, I'm not going to be pessimistic about it and say he's going to show up. But my point is that if he does show up and he does win, do we trust him to be able to fight again? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing, is like, can he do it twice, 2 or 3 times? Because we need movement. Like, I hate when it's just like static, when there's no movement in these divisions. And in order for there to be movement in the divisions, the champions have to fight.
Would it be a disaster if Khamzat Chimaev wins? That's what Dean Thomas said. I kind of get his point, because we do want to have a busy champion, okay? You got to fight. You can't sit on the sidelines. You can't become the champion and say, right, I'm going to avoid fighting people now. No, you got to defend it, because when you defend it, that's when you make money. That's how you build your brand. That's how you get the endorsement deals, okay? Look at Israel Adesanya. When that man was the champion, he was defending the belt at a crazy pace, okay? That's why you got to have respect for champions like Israel Adesanya and Anderson Silva back in the day, because they were ready to take on absolutely anybody. Khamzat Chimaev, I think he's ready to take on everybody. He wants to kill everybody. Kill everybody! That's what he said right from day one. And I think if he can beat Dricus, and that's a big if. It's a very big if, okay? I don't know if he can.
Meanwhile, Reinier de Ridder, another dangerous middleweight, doesn't see Chimaev as the nightmare many do. He actually considers preparing for Khamzat more straightforward than preparing for Du Plessis. In de Ridder's eyes, Chimaev's skill set, primarily wrestling and boxing, is easier to simulate in training. Du Plessis, on the other hand, is unpredictable, awkward, and nearly impossible to replicate with training partners. If there's one guy who's hard to study, it's Dricus. He doesn't do the same thing twice. He's so awkward, so unpredictable. I sparred him a couple of years ago, and his kicks stood out. They come from weird angles, the knees slightly in. It's hard to judge if it's going middle, high, or low. You can't find another guy who moves like that.
The champion, Dricus Du Plessis, without giving too much away, of course, what have you seen in watching his film? And also, he's got like now this notorious reputation of being kind of an ugly fighter. I would love to get your take on that.
If there's one guy who's hard to study, it's him, man. He doesn't do 2 things twice. He doesn't do the same thing twice. He's so awkward, so unpredictable. I need more time studying him. He does a lot of awkward stuff, and I sparred him a couple of years ago at Kill Cliff. And what really stands out in my mind is the way he kicks. His kicks come from such a weird angle, with the knees slightly in, and it was very hard for me to judge where it was going to go, if it's going to be a middle, high, or low kick. So, and it's going to be very hard to find a guy to emulate him as well, right? There's nobody else who moves like that.
Caio Borralho, another middleweight contender, agrees. He warns that fighters make a key mistake against Du Plessis. They try to overpower him early. Borralho believes Du Plessis thrives when opponents expend too much energy going for big shots, only to gas out. Du Plessis, even when tired, can keep pushing forward. With Du Plessis, you can't just go for the kill, Borralho explained. Control the distance, jab, use kicks to hurt his arms, move around, then catch him when he opens up.
You might not knock him out, but you can go 5 hard rounds. But if you blow all your energy early, you're in trouble.
With Dricus, I think people do a lot of mistake with him because people don't control the distance and don't go for the lighter shots. You know what I mean? Like, people try to kill him all the time and put all the strength in power in the punches and all that, and then people get tired. He gets tired too, but he can work when he's tired. So I would go more with jabs, distance control, trying to hurt with kicks his arms a little bit more, and I'll circle a lot in the octagon, and then I will find the right time that he just open up himself when he stretches to punch and he walks forward doing 2 or 3 punches, and I'll try to find this opening to do a counter punch or something like that and catch him when he's not waiting. That's what I see. I can see me knock him out, but I can see going for the 5 rounds of pure war, and we're gonna have fun over there.
Gilbert Burns, who knows both fighters' styles well, also sees danger for Khamzat if the fight goes long. Burns pointed out that if Khamzat doesn't finish Du Plessis early, or at least drain him heavily in the first round, he could be in for a nightmare. Du Plessis' resilience, chin, and gas tank make him one of the toughest fighters to put away. I train with Du Plessis a lot, Burns said. He's a very, very good fighter. Crazy cardio, very strong. Khamzat will start strong like he always does, but if Du Plessis survives that first round, I think it becomes his fight. He doesn't break. Good gas tank. I think Du Plessis beats Khamzat and stays champion.
I train with Dricus a lot. Dricus is actually a very, very good fighter. Crazy cardio, very physically strong. He's a very hard fight to predict. You know, I think Chimaev is going to start very strong like he always do. I do believe Dricus can kind of slow him down, don't get submitted, relax a little bit. But I do believe Dricus, if he get past that first round, I think that's the hardest part. What I think he will do, I think he's gonna pass, and then he's gonna be a nightmare for Chimaev. I think Dricus is a monster, hits very hard, doesn't break, good gas tank. I do believe Dricus is gonna beat Chimaev and remain the champion.
The mind games have also spilled outside the cage. A rumor surfaced that Du Plessis offered Khamzat $10,000 for every successful takedown in their fight. This came from a misunderstanding. Du Plessis' coach had offered a similar challenge to training partners in camp. Arman Sarukian, who is trained with Chimaev, laughed off the idea that Du Plessis would win that bet. If Dricus really thinks Khamzat won't take him down, he's going to lose all his money. Taking him down might be easy for Khamzat. Controlling him is another story, but takedowns, Khamzat will get him.
What is a good strategy Khamzat is looking at in terms of going at Dricus?
He does every fight the almost same things, and he's not going to change anything.
I saw on Twitter, Dricus said he'll give him $10,000 for every time he's able to take him down.
DDP thinks Khamzat not going to take him down. If he's really thinks like he's going to pay his $10,000, he's got to give all his money to Khamzat.
You're awesome, man. That's crazy.
Robert Whitaker, who has fought both men, also sees the fight ending on the early minutes. Khamzat will take Dricus down. The question is, will he finish him before Dricus gets back up? If he doesn't, that's when Dricus becomes dangerous. If it goes past the first round, I lean toward Dricus.
Khamzat and Dricus fighting for the belt in just over a month's time. What are your initial thoughts on that matchup?
Honestly, I'd have to say Dricus would be a favorite. I think I'm leaning towards Dricus. The whole thing can be summed up. Chimaev will take him down. It's will he finish him before he gets back up? That's the $1 million question. Because if he doesn't finish him on the ground, yeah, wait and see.
Bilal Mohammed has a slightly different take. He thinks Khamzat's cardio is underrated and that the Chechen can win if he manages his energy. If Khamzat doesn't blow all his gas in round 1, he'll be fine. Dricus is awkward, but he gets hit a lot. Khamzat's striking is better than people think. He just has to fight smart in this 5-rounder. Don't go for the kill immediately.
Who do I got, DDP or Chimaev? Honestly, I mean, I think too many people are counting out Chimaev's cardio. I think where Habib said it best, if he stands up with him and strikes with him, I think he'll do well. DDP is an awkward style, but he does get hit a lot. And he breaks a lot of guys with fatigue. if Chimaev doesn't come out super hard in the first round, trying to take him down and letting out all his energy, I think he'll be fine if he keeps it standing. And then maybe the later rounds you try to wear on him a little bit, but you don't want to go out for that kill in the first round. And DDP just plays defensively. He's strong, obviously, and then you end up burning yourself out for 4 rounds. So he needs to be smart, especially in this 5-round fight. But I got Chimaev. I think Chimaev's a lot crisper on the feet and definitely crisper on the ground.
As UFC 319 draws near, the stakes couldn't be higher. Du Plessis remains undefeated in the UFC and is eager to cement his legacy as one of the top middleweights ever. Khamzat is the wrecking ball who has smashed through everyone in his path. Their clash promises intensity, unpredictability, and drama. Whether it's Du Plessis' awkward resilience or Khamzat's suffocating grappling that wins the day, one thing is certain: the middleweight belt will be fought for in one of the most anticipated battles in recent memory.